Introduction of the Rural Magazine and Literary Evening Fireside, Volume 1, Number 1. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Larry Wilson. The Rural Magazine and Literary Evening Fireside, Volume 1, Number 1, by Various. Introduction. It is not without feelings of anxiety that the editors of the Rural Magazine issue forth their first number to the public, for they are aware of the lasting effect of a first impression, and that they have now fairly embarked in an adventure, the success and the termination of which are alike uncertain. Diffident, however, as they are to their own abilities, they have full confidence in the excellence of their plan, and the kindness and assistance of their friends. Of the value of this assistance, the work itself will testify, and the plan which they have marked out, it is but fair that the reader should be informed. A leading object of the Rural Magazine will be to furnish correct views of the science of agriculture, and the various improvements which are daily made or suggested in it. For this purpose the best and most recent European works on the subject will be consulted, and selections made from the American newspapers that are devoted or friendly to the cause. The best information on the subject will thus be considered in a form less unwieldy than a newspaper, and more popular than in scientific books. We also expect original papers from our agricultural friends, being confident that there is much in the farming of our neighboring counties, well worthy of being widely known and imitated. Yet, as we wish our magazine to have an extensive circulation, and to be interesting not merely to the farmer, but to the citizen and the general reader, a considerable part of every number will be occupied with topics of general literature, selections from approved new publications, particularly biography and travels, essays, and information on scientific subjects, and original miscellaneous communications. To original and well-written essays our pages will always be accessible, and we particularly solicit such as will throw light on the history, antiquities, geography, curiosities, and productions of our own country. With the genuine productions of the Muse we shall always be glad to adorn our pages. But we have no desire to patronize the unfledged attempts at versifying, the lamentable ditties to which the public is weekly besieged, for we hold that in poetry there is no tolerable medium. But to an American and a philanthropist there are still higher objects to be gained by the circulation of such a paper than the mere diffusion of agricultural intelligence or general literature. He lives under a system of government which is ideally perfect, and he sees it distorted by the vices and the passions of its subjects. He is the disciple of a religion which breathes good will to mankind, and on whichsoever side he turns are to be seen oppression, the darkness of ignorance, self-inflicted wretchedness, and amalgamating corruption. He sees a large portion of the human family held in chains by the very nation that has pronounced all men to be free and equal. The condition of that unhappy race, even when emancipated, excites his deepest commiseration and most anxious fears. He sees the aborigines of our country, a noble race of men, perishing like the beasts of the forest before our approach, and that under every circumstance of wretchedness and degeneracy. Above all, the great and fatal delusion of war, more bloody than the superstitions of Moloch, still overspreads the world, and renders man the destroyer of man. To all these subjects will the Rural Magazine be watchful and alive, for the editors believe them to be subjects of the deepest interest, and having relation to our highest duties. He who tills his field, or pursues his occupation with diligence and skill, is a deserving and honorable citizen. He who, in addition to this, cultivates his mind, and stores it with useful and ornamental knowledge, raises himself in the scale of being, and adds to his capacities both for happiness and usefulness. But when he adds to this industry, and to these talents and accomplishments, the benevolence of a Christian philanthropist, and renders them subservient to the welfare of his species, he attains to the highest dignity of his nature, and fulfills all obligations which devolve on him as a citizen and a man. Such are the general outlines of our plan, and as we feel no local or political prejudices, they shall never have place in the discussion of any subject which may appear in our columns. Combining in this manner an agricultural, a literary, and philanthropic journal, we look with confidence to the support of our enlightened fellow citizens, and assure them that no exertions on our part shall be wanting to fill up the measure which we have meted out, and render the Rural Magazine deserving of their patronage. End of Introduction.